Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavataye Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Paranchikhani Vratanat Swayambhuhu
Paranchikani Vratanat Swayambhuhu
Tasmat Paran Pashyati Nantaratman
Tasmat param pashyati nantaratman
Kaschiddhira Pratyagatmanamaikshat
Tashdhira pratyagatmanamaikshat
Avruta Chakshuramrtatvamichan
Avritakshakaramritattvamichan.
One of Swamiji's favorite phrases, Pishtasya Peshanam. When it looks like Shastra is having explained everything, take it up again and talk about it. Pishtasya is to, we have this, what in Tamil called article, where you grind the dough for dosa, idli and all that. So you keep doing that and make it finer and finer. And then having done all that, why do it all over again? Pishtasya Peshanam. We've seen this here also. Everything has been explained in the first adhyaya. Takes it up again. Why go through all of this? Something is preventing human beings from gaining this knowledge. Now, all human beings want only one thing. But most of us don't know what we want. Therefore, we seek what we want elsewhere. Like the fellow who was searching under a street light. And somebody else came and said, "What are you searching for so intently?" He says, "I lost my needle. I have to find it." So that person said, "I'll help." So he also searched and searched. They couldn't find it. Then another two more people joined. Then two more people joined. Everybody was searching. Nobody could find it. Till finally, one of them finally asked, "When did you see it last?" He said, "I saw it when I was trying to stitch something." Where? In my room. If you lost it there in the room, why are you searching here? Because there is light here. There is no light in that room. So I'm searching in the light. This is what we do. We are searching for something just because we don't know what to search for and where to search. B meaning humanity. What is it that humanity wants? Oh, I want to be a rich man. Nothing wrong with, go ahead, be a rich man. But ask yourself why? Why do you want to be a rich man? I want to come first in my class. I want to get a promotion. I want to go to the Bahamas to see those beaches. Why? We're looking for something and we don't know what we're looking for. But we know there is something. There is a mythical story, myth about a type of deer called musk deer. From what I understand, it's only a myth. Musk deer exists, okay? It has some special glands, I think. And the myth is that the musk deer recognizes a smell, a fragrance, a beautiful fragrance. Doesn't know where it is coming from. So the musk deer starts running around trying to figure out where that smell is coming from. And wherever the deer goes, the smell is there. So it goes to runs here and there, here and there. And the smell is still there, but it doesn't know where it's coming from. Eventually, the deer tires and falls dead, never having found where the source of the beautiful fragrance was. We also like that. That poor deer, which incidentally is killed in large numbers, poached in large numbers, doesn't know where it is coming from. So it keeps running around all over the place. Ha, 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 ha. Finally, somewhere it falls down. I can't find it. But it's there. Wherever I go, the smell is there. We do the same thing. We are running around with a chicken, like a chicken with his head cut off, looking for something. That whiff of fragrance, of ananda, which you know exists because we get that whiff. That lesha is available to us every now and then. And we look for that. Where can I get it from? Where can I get it from? Where can I get it from? And humanity generally runs around all over the place trying to locate where it is coming from. Fragrance of ananda, which is so beautiful that you forget yourself, that you're able to see yourself not as a restricted body, mind, sense complex. You forget that self. You're able to see the bigger picture, the whole, for a small time. Ah, that was nice. What a wonderful whiff. Can I get more of that? How nice it would be if I could get it all the time. We run around. We think it may be found in a relationship. We think it may be found in wealth. We think it may be found in some knowledge, some other knowledge means laukika knowledge, vyavaharika knowledge. And everywhere we see just the lesha. Humanity does not know what it is doing, does not understand that There is no relationship between what it is doing and what it is wanting. We think we are very highly logical people. We only take action which will lead us to a particular result. But if you don't know what the result is that you're looking for, what action are you going to take? So what do? We don't know what the result we want is. We replace it by something which we can recognize. A new car. I got a brand new car. It is looking very nice. It is parked in my driveway. All my neighbors are looking at it and saying, wow, kya baat hai. How long does it last? Even if nothing happens to the car. And of course, if some small scratch happens to the car, that's different. That sukhalesha becomes dukha. But even if it doesn't, very quickly drops off. You take the car for granted. It is true of everything that we seek. The seeker doesn't understand that I am the sought. I am what I'm seeking. The truth of I is what I'm seeking. Therefore, you go elsewhere, outside, external. Paranchikani. That's all we know. More wealth, more security, more kama, more dharma, more everything. Doesn't get what we want. Therefore, it is necessary to do Pishtasya Peshanam. Again and again and again, Shastra tries to tell us, hey, you're looking at the wrong place for the wrong thing. This is not what you're looking for. Because you don't know what you're looking for, you replace it with something which you think may be the one that you're looking for. There is no clarity of Purushartha. The end that every human being is seeking, not knowing what it is seeking and where it is seeking that. So our one huge obstacle, that which prevents us from gaining this knowledge, which is Amritattva, is this lack of Purushartha. There is a Parama Purushartha. I know what I want. If you don't know what you want, how does it matter what you get? Everything's okay. So the first problem we have is Purushartha. And that is where when Bhagavan says, Vitranat, damaged the senses, which unfortunately only give us information about what is external. It doesn't even occur to most people that there is something more than what is visible outside. That all these external things cannot be what I'm looking for. So when Bhattakara says, that we keep looking outside, Swabhavikam. And as long as we're looking outside, we are not going to be able to look for the truth of I. We're only looking for more and more and more knowledge of, possession of, achievement of things external. And that complete concentration on the external prevents us from looking elsewhere, looking inward. So that is the second huge factor which prevents us from looking for the truth. No Purushartha, and not knowing where to look for it, where to look for the truth. Not knowing that I am actually infinite. Not I can be, I am. Somewhere in this logic that I'm explaining to myself, I'm making an error. And I have come to the conclusion that it is not possible for anyone to be Purnaha. I accept that I'm limited. That is I. And my lot in this Jagat is to keep on working to improve that I from level A to level B to level C to level D to level E. That is my Purushartha. In the form of security, in the form of Kama, in the form of Dharma. Not knowing that I'm looking at the wrong place for the wrong thing. What I am looking for is to get rid of the idea that I'm inadequate. My status quo is not acceptable. I have no self-acceptance. Swamiji, I have so many problems. I can't get along with my spouse. My children don't listen to me. They all become whatever the modern day version of hippies, wear clothes which are torn. I tell them, very clothes like this. Give it to your mummy, she'll stitch it for you. No. I tore it deliberately. I paid a lot of money to get it torn like that. What can you do with them? They cause me a lot of angst. My work at the office is not going well. I have a very cantankerous boss. Everyone else is to blame. Except not realizing that I am looking for the wrong thing at the wrong place. All of these are correct. What you see, what the individual perceives in the situation, in the objects, in relationships, is all true. But that's not what you're looking for. There's something way beyond that. And that all comes because I am only seeing external. And as long as I'm seeing external, I don't have a possibility of seeing internal, which is where the truth lies. The truth of I is to look inward. I cannot look at that. Nahi bahya vishaya alochana pratvam pratyagatma ikshanacha ekasya sambhavati. If I am focusing only on the outward, because that is all the instruments I have, Bhagavan has given me all the instruments to look externally. As long as that is where I am looking, it is not possible to look for Pratyagatma, to try and understand Pratyagatma. What you're proposing is very difficult. I have so many things to do in the Jagat. I have responsibilities. And at the back of my mind, I'm very afraid. I'm not 100% certain that there is there. Although I've been studying Vedanta for the last many years, it is not totally clear to me. What you're telling me is to stop looking externally, because if I keep looking externally, you're saying you cannot look internally. Both together at the same time is not possible. Nahi na cha ekasya sambhavati. Both together is not possible. I am a samsari. I have a family. I have children. I have aged parents. I have a sharira which I have to look after. All this is external, including the sharira, the manas, everything. Therefore, my entire focus is there. Occasionally, I attend a class once a week, twice a week, and then go back to the same thing again. Are you telling me, Swamiji, because of this, I will never gain this knowledge which is moksha? Only two things are possible if I say that. Either some people will give up and say, it's not available to me. Let me immerse myself in doing as best as I can within samsara. And a few others might be more convinced and therefore drop everything and take sannyasa. Sannyasa only for turning my entire concentration towards Pratyekatma. Neither outcome is easy. You go back to being a samsari full-time samsari. There is always the thing back, am I missing something? I've studied for so many years. What Shastra says seems logical. I cannot see it, but it seems logical. Am I missing out something by saying I have all these things to do in the samsara? True that Bahya Vishaya Alochana Paratvam and Pratyagatma Mekshanam Ekasya na sambhavati, cannot happen together. So how do I deal with the situation? Only one way. Take the entire life as karma yoga. It's an attitude. It clearly shows the obstacles, the things that are preventing me from totally concentrating on Pratyekatma. Let me try and reduce them and eventually remove them. Therefore, a beautiful method, while I discharge what I see as my responsibility in samsara, my doubts, my everything, I deal with it by taking an attitude of a karma yogi. I do what I have to do. It doesn't matter whether I like it or I don't like it. I do what I have to do. Therefore, I do it as an arpanam to Ishvara. The more Ishvara in one's life, the easier it becomes. All the nagging of the spouse, all the problems with the in-laws, all the problems with the boss, all of them fade in comparison. They can be dealt with. You understand that Bhakya Vishya Alochana Paratvam Pratyagatmekshanam Ekasya na Sambhavati. I cannot give up samsara. I am stuck here. Therefore, for me to be able to focus inwards, the entire external world I should see with an attitude of a karma yogi. Not everybody can immediately say, I want to focus on this one thing and therefore I'm going to drop everything else completely and become a sannyasi. And if, as Bhagavan says, no, if you only do halfway, then even sannyasa becomes very difficult. You're neither a sannyasi nor a samsari. Like, I can jump half the well, but I can't clear the full well. That is what will happen. So there's method available for us. An attitude change to one of karma yoga. So, nahi bahya vishya alochana paratvam pratyagamekshanam sayekasya na sambhavati. If we, there are many religions in this world. Every religion has something to say about what you should look for. Some religion will tell you, you need to be saved, for which you need a savior. I am that savior. I represent God. So you follow what I tell you to do. What do you want me to save me from? From the original sin. But I didn't commit any original sin. Yes, you did. Because you were born of sin. Your great grandparents committed a sin. And you were born of that sin. You know the story of Adam and Eve, no? All the Abrahamic religions have something similar. And they put the blame squarely on Eve. She was the one who gave into temptation to eat the fruit. They call it the fruit of knowledge of samsara. Not the fruit of knowledge of moksha. If that means, that will be very simple then. What are you wanting to save from? There's nothing to save you from. No, another religion will say, no, you will go to Jannat. How will I go to Jannat? Oh, Jannat is fantastic. Everything will be beautiful there. You will have no grief. You come back to that, no? What do you want? I want no grief. I want no sorrow. You go to Jannat. You will get it. How do I go to Jannat? You do what I tell you to do. Complete blind faith. Every religion has something like that. And then, of course, introduce fear. If you don't do what I tell you to do, you will go to the other one, where you'll be boiled in oil. There'll be hellfire. Sometimes I see in front of the church, they write these big boards. No? Sometimes I've seen those boards trying to instill fear, scary wordings. But that's not the truth. That's only if the idea is to make you live a dharmic life, yes. But they're not able to say that. They cannot answer this question any intelligent person asks. Like Bertrand Russell. Why I'm not a Christian? You know what he said, no? He said, being a Christian means accepting the extreme punishment given in hell, which, irrespective of what sin I have committed, however big the sin I have committed, is disproportionate. Why is it disproportionate? Because you're telling me this is eternal hell. Once I go there, I stay there forever. Who goes there? I. Who is that I? You. Mr. X. You will go there. But my body is already buried in the graveyard. Doesn't matter. You'll still go there. Too many loose ends. Because they don't complete the process. What you're looking for is pratyagatmaikshanam. The truth of myself. Bhashyakara raises another question related to this. You are saying it is natural for the senses to look outward. You're also saying that looking outward and looking inward at the same time is not possible. That means I have to find a way of not looking outward, only looking inward, only looking towards Pratyagatma. What of effort is involved? Edirneechal in Tamil. I think that's the correct expression, right? Go against the current. That needs a lot of effort. Why should I put in that effort? What can I get at the end of the effort? There's a lot of effort involved. So Bhashyakara himself asks the questions and answers. He says, if the Purva Pakshi were to ask, can you put that back on? Kimartham
Kimartham
punaha ittam
punaha ittam
mahata prayasena
mahata prayasena
svabhava pravritti nirodham kritva
स्वभाव
nirodham
प्रविरोधं
कृत्वा
कृत्वा
धीरः
धीरः
प्रत्यगात्मानं पश्यति
प्रत्यगात्मानं पश्यति
इत्युच्यते.
इति उच्यते.
You say, the Purva Pakshi were to say, why should anybody thus take this huge effort, mahata prayasena, with this enormous effort required? I have a comfortable, cushy life here. I have a lot of wealth. I have a beautiful family. I have a company which is running very well. I have a manager who takes care of all the things, so I can go on vacation all the time. Everything is working well for me. In a situation like that, why should anybody make this huge effort, mahata prayasanam, to do what? Swabhava pravritti nirodham. To stop this natural movement, natural, normal operation of looking external. Everything's looking nice. Yes, I do have some problems once in a while. I worked so hard all my life to create this company that I have ulcers. It keeps bothering me once in a while. Really? Not only that, the doctor tells me I cannot eat anything. I'm only allowed to eat curd rice. All my life now, I'm only going to eat curd rice. I see other people eating very interesting food. I can't eat that. I also have some other problems. My daughter ran away with a Muslim boy. We are very orthodox in our thinking. Well, problems are there. Life is full of problems. It is this feeling that there is problem that you want to get rid of. Kimartham punaha ittam mahata prayasena svabhava pravritti nirodham kritva. By stopping this, what is the natural flow, natural movement of the external, of the senses? They're designed like that. Why should the Dhira Purusha Pratyagatmanam Pashyati? What is the purpose? What is the gain? Like I said, most of us, even after studying for years, that total conviction is difficult to gain. That fullness is there already. It is not something to be gained. It is only something to be discovered. And once the fullness is there, nothing more. You cannot have anything more than fullness. It's full. Purna. You can't have Purna plus one. Purna plus one is also Purna only. We say that every time at the end of the class, no? Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purna Udachyate. Purnam arises from Purnam. Purnam goes into Purnam. You can't add anything to Purnam. You can't take away anything from Purnam. It remains Purnam only. Once that such a state is recognized, what is there to do? There's nothing to do. Nothing to gain. Nothing to do. Nothing to achieve. That's a person. Why does he look for? Because the whole objective here in this thing has been saying, you turn your viewpoint to inward viewpoint, looking for Pratyagatma. Why? Why make all that effort? Too much effort involved. If you ask like that, Pratyagatmanam pashyati iti uchyate, if you say that, if the Purva Pakshi were to raise an objection, Shankaracharya already raised the objection and said, if you raise the objection like this, then he does it to gain amritatvam. He does it to gain, not gain. He does it to recognize his nature as Amritam. He does it only to understand the reality of the self, the Pratyagatma. Is Purna, and that Pratyagatma I am. I like to call it I is. That Pratyagatma is I. It is Purna. It is Amrita. No mrityu to it. Amrita. What is the Amrita? All that I do not want in this Jagat, like the fellow who said, I'm already quite comfortable, except for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things that I'm not happy with. That I am subject to unhappiness. I am subject to grief. Attributing this grief to something that doesn't deserve to be attributed to. Ashocyan anvashocastvam. Bhagavan tells Arjuna, there is no grief. It's imagined. And you think grief comes from so-and-so person, so-and-so relationship, so-and-so object, so-and-so situation. Recognition of Pratyagatma. Recognizes this. And Shokam Tarati, Atmavit Shokam Tarati. Gaining this knowledge of the self. Not the self which is the Rudi Artha, not the self of the Atma Artha which you've seen earlier is the Rudi Artha. But the actual Artha of Atma for which we are trying to study and understand. That Artha is Amritatvam. Bhashyakara also says Amarana Dharmatvam. So the recognition of the Dharma. And for that, so much effort you put in to go against what is natural. There is a story of Kartavirarjuna who fights with Ravana. If Ravana has 10 heads and maybe 20 hands, Kartavirarjuna has 1,000 hands. So he is supposed to have, in some context, I don't remember the context fully, to stop the flow of the Narmada river using his 1,000 hands and reversed it. A lot of effort. You don't have 1,000 hands. We have only 2 hands. With these 2 hands, you have to reverse our entire thing against what is swabhavikam. Like that, Kartavirarjuna. With 2 hands, I have 2 hands, symbolically. Turn the tide the other way. Make the bend go the other way. Make the river flow the other way. That is effort. You try to swim against the current, you know what it is like. You think you made 1 meter progress, you made 2 meters behind. Difficult. That way you will not make any progress at all. But therefore, I say you think you've swum 3 meters, you've been pushed back 2 meters. It's a tough effort. Mahata prayasena swabhava prakriti nirodham krutva dhiraha pratyagatmanam kimartham pashyati. to gain, to recognize, to understand the true nature of the self as Amrtatvam. Amarana Dharmatvam. No Marana. Amrtatvam we know, and yet Bhashyakara takes it upon himself to clarify. Amarana Dharmatvam. Very nature is Amarana. Never born, never dies. Oh, bulk of the second chapter on Sankhya talks about this. Recognize the self as the Atma, which is recognized by the four Dhatu Artha we saw earlier, as being that which is all-pervading, which sustains everything. Everything in this jagat, everything is samsara, into which everything resolves, which eats up everything. All of these meanings lead to the same thing. Big Atma. Not they didn't stop there. Bhashyakara calls it Amarana Dharmatvam Nitya Swabhavatam. The very Swabhava of the self is Nitya. It is the Swarupa. So you just have to recognize the Swarupa as fullness itself. Atmanaha, this Nitya Swabhavatam, Amarana Dharmatvam, Amrtatvam is the nature of the Atma. Atmanaha Icchan. To recognize this, with the desire to recognize this Atma. Atmanaha Icchan. He makes the effort, the Dhira makes the effort to change the course of one's life. The very pravaha is changed. All my life, from the time I was born, I was only trying to become. I still continue to try to become. Till I recognize that there's nothing to become. All I have to recognize is I am. After that, I know the word I am, period. That Nitya Swabhava Icchan. Atmanaha Nitya Swabhava Icchan. Saha Dhirapurushaha Pratyaganpanam Pashyati. So there are two factors here. One is he makes the effort to turn inwards. Avrita Chakshuhu Sanna Pratyagatmanam Pashyati. Pratyagatmanam Drishtva. There is no afterward. Pratyagatmanam is, once the drishti is there, it is Amrtatvam. Amrtatvam apnoti. Amrtatvam pashyati. Nitya swabhavam pashyati. There is nothing more. This completes everything. Even after the first adhyaya, this one verse is enough. Why is it then that everybody is not able to see it? Why is it that only a few dhira purushaha are able to see this? Are even able to see that there is something to be seen, to be understood? You saw that, no? Shreya and Preya. Most people do not see it. They only look for prayers. Dharmaraja takes that up next, saying, I told you when I started telling you about this in response to your third boon, there is Shreyas and there is Prayas. They are both very different. Most people opt for prayers because they don't know any better. So he restates that and emphasizes what happens in the next verse, and then continues into the valley, which is beautiful valley. A lot of etad vaitatu you will see here. This is it. We'll continue in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.